Hello, and welcome back to the fishy plant man's world in the land of the seven suns. I don't think I like that either, but I'll get an intro like that right eventually. Um, what is this video gonna be called? I think it's gonna be called Good Thing I Didn't Panic. That's a misleading title. I did panic. I panicked pretty much big time. And is what happened as I got home late and I looked at the fish for an evening feed, even though by the time I got to them it was about 10 o'clock. And I turned on the light and I looked at the fish and I seen 4 pale fish, neon tetras, and they were pale. There was just 4 and they were pale. That sent me into a panic. I thought, what is wrong? Fish don't fade out just to sleep, do they? So I went into a bit of a panic and I thought, well, what happened? Are the rest hiding or are they already dead? So I thought, okay, number one rule in fish keeping, when something like this happens, don't panic. So I thought, okay, well, instead of starting a water change or even doing tests, I'll go sit down, think about it, get a game plan, and go at it from there. Well, you can see there's more than 4 fish in there. And as time went on, they colored back up. The next morning, the rest of the fish came out. Turns out everybody's fine. I don't know why they colored down. I know the missing fish were simply hiding behind the sponge because they were tucked in for bed, basically asleep. And then I flick on the light and I come in and check them out. They just never came out. There were 4 fish that were out for whatever reason, and yeah, they were pale. But by the next day, everything was fine. But after thinking it through, I did decide to do a chemist test. There's what I did just before starting the video. I did an ammonia test. And we're going to get to that. There's the ammonia bottle wrapped up because I don't want to see the results yet. I don't want to see them yet. I want to see the results when you see the results. So it's been about 5 minutes, but it can be a couple more minutes. So what I did is I did an ammonia test. The ammonia came out just fine. And I thought, well, I got the kit out. I'll go ahead and I'll test that tank too. That tank needs water, so if you can hear it and it's a little loud, I apologize, but I was anxious to get to the video because I don't want those chemicals in that test tube for too long, so I haven't filled that one up yet. So like I said, I apologize if it's noisy. So I went ahead, the ammonia was fine, I did an ammonia test over there. That was fine. I thought, really? Okay, well, we'll test for nitrites on both tanks. Tested for nitrites. They came out fine on this one. Good. Expected them to be elevated on that one. They weren't. That's unexpected, but good. Okay, they're not elevated, so that might be good. Maybe I just missed it. I know this tank had nitrates in it last time I looked. So they should both have nitrates if everything's good. Excuse me. They didn't. Neither one of them. A little bit, but not a lot. And for that tank, I thought, okay, the nitrates are just getting started. But this one, the nitrates are going down? Why are they going down? I haven't really changed my water change schedule, just what naturally comes out for, watering and evaporation. But the nitrates are going down. And I looked at all, 6 tests? 2 ammonia, 2 nitrite, 2 nitrate. Looked at all 6 tests. And I thought, well, that's odd. They're all identical to their counterpart. What are the chances of that? But everything came out good, and it's the next day. The fish don't appear to be complaining anymore. They've colored back up reasonably. They're all there. So I thought, okay, I'll keep it in the back of my mind. What could it be? And then the next day, I was going to test the tap water. Just the tap water coming out of the tap. That should have ammonia in it. If I don't get an ammonia reading, I will know that the tests are probably off. And that's why they're not registering anything or much of anything, is because in the last week or so, they've gone bad. They're well over their expiration date by years. So I won't blame them if they have gone bad just recently. Be kind of ironic, kind of odd, but I wouldn't blame them, the chemicals, if they've finally gone bad and just don't register anything. Keeping in mind, this kit is... Oh, did I put it away? It is intended for salt water anyway. So, that day comes and goes. I got busy. We went to... out of town anyway. We went to a Costco's, which is 2 or 3 counties away. So, didn't happen that day. Today, in the last few minutes, I have made time for the fish, because when it gets to this point where I've put them off for a day or two, there comes a time when I say, okay, I've got to make time for the fish. That's what I've done. I have made time. Time's available, so I'm getting it done. So now, the video is in 9 minutes. It's probably 13, 14, 15 minutes this has been sitting here. We should be able to see the results. Keep in mind, even if this is like forest green, this color over here, kind of a forest green color, it's okay because it's tap water. The water in here has nothing to do with the tank. So, I'm expecting ammonia. Let's see if it's there. We'll drop the thing on the table and you should see it. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. We have ammonia. We have a decent amount of ammonia. Okay, like I said, that's tap water. That means, because this water is older, that means, since everything else tested good, and apparently the chemicals are still working, I am ready, apparently, to make a breeding cage and get these guys, maybe not all of them, but some of them, probably just what I think might be a pair at first, over into the tank with a breeding cage. Now I'm going to want to be home all day for that. Because if things start going bad, I'm going to, of course, plop them back over here. I don't expect things to go bad. Let's feed this tank. Oh, we got a little dog in the way. Hey, little dog. Hi, little dog. What's Ebony doing? You're on the towels. Put towels down to protect the carpet. I mean, look at that carpet. It's beautiful. So, let's go ahead. Yeah, I got, different things in here to work with the ammonia. Pop goes the container. We will put just one little extra help, keep that bacteria now that we got it fed. But don't overfeed. I will be overfeeding because, you want the fish to be healthy to breed. But there we go. This tank is apparently ready. Doesn't seem like it's been no month, but it's ready. So if it's ready, it's ready. I don't do things by the calendar. There's very little I do by the calendar. Feeding the tanks is one of them. Now, yes, that was feeding the tank, but it was fish food. That wasn't the minerals that the tank is fed. We already did that video not long ago. So, that's it for the fish. I did panic. Despite the video, good thing I didn't panic. No, I panicked. I just controlled my panic. I have mastered my fears. When I am afraid, I will master them. Isn't that what the old bear says? Maybe he's a young bear. I don't know. It's Golden Compass, I think is the name of that movie, where he says when he is afraid, he will master his fear. So, now we have this, and I don't think you're going to be able to see it, so I will just tell you, this plant, or plants, depending on how you want to look at it, is doing all kinds of things. It's got a couple more little bird beaks. Everything looks like it might have moved a little bit. But right by, you can kind of see that nub sticking up by the little root. That is not another root. That is either a flower spike or another keiki. So this plant has taken a bit of a break. It grew this keiki, and of course it grew that other over there, whatever that is. And after that little leaf came out, kind of set back. See it in there? It kind of looks like a tongue and a mouth. Kind of looks like a tongue inside the mouth. Yeah. So the newest leaf is the smallest leaf on there. But then it just kind of appeared to stop and didn't do much. Well, lately, that little nubbin, little bird beak thing had started up, and that is not a root. I'm not sure if it's another keiki or a flower spike this time. We will have to wait and see. But this plant is doing something again. And if it's a flower spike, for whatever reason, I don't want the flower spike getting wet. I don't know where I'm getting that idea from, but I don't want it getting wet. So, we're going to go back to the way I was doing it before. And it's just going to sit on the side of the tank, and that root will bring up water. Doesn't seem to be well hydrated, but I'm doing the best with what my instincts tell me. And that's kind of what it is my instincts. Because every time I try to follow YouTube, it doesn't necessarily go well. So I just follow my instincts at this point. This whole water culture thing that I'm doing, yeah, it's not really the water culture the way you see it most of the time on YouTube. It's really a kind of aquaponics, using fish, and, you feed the fish feed the plants. Water culture is a little bit different. You put, your fertilizer into the water and you do all that. This is more aquaponics. And it's different. So, doing things my way because, well, my way seems to be working. So, if my way is working, my way is what I'm going to do. The plant, because I believe I said when I initially came up with this idea of breeding neon tetras, the plants, this plants in the water bit that I've got going. There's only one orchid taking directly from the aquarium. It's this guy up here. He is taking directly from the aquarium whatever he wants. He's got 3 roots, 2 of which have underwater tips. The second one has never came out of the water. And the bigger one, see it? That's only been out of the water a matter of seconds. All of that, and it's about 4 inches maybe, all grown underwater. Does not come out for a dry cycle. The one behind it, oh, that isn't it. No, got it wrong again. See that one behind it? Same thing, only that lighter green tip has never came out of the water. And the one up there is the last one to go in. It hasn't started growing anything yet. But those 2 are what I am calling water roots. Because they do not, if I can stand up again, they do not get atmospheric air. Whew. So, yeah, there's no wet, dry cycle. That's completely eliminated so far. But these guys, they can go for a swim. This one's getting a leaf down there, and it's going to go for a swim. There's no flower spike to worry about, so it's going to go for a swim. This one is getting whatever it wants. Seems to be enough. So it doesn't need to go for a swim. It can just sit there just like that, just the way plants like it. This one, it too is getting a little leaf down in there. And I do not see a flower spike anywhere. Just happy, healthy roots, with the exception of the ones that are dead. It too, going for a swim. This other behemoth, this big behemoth, look at all those leaves. The bottom couple of leaves ain't as happy as they once were, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, let's say 9 leaves that are doing pretty good. 10, 11 are there, but I'm not counting them because they're looking kind of sad. But either way, I gotta weigh this thing. I need to get, a small little scale. I've got one, but I don't think... Yeah, no, I need to get, kind of a small scale. This might show up on the bathroom scale, but I don't think so. I need kind of a small scale, like a, one that does 5 to 10 pounds or so, and weigh that monster. It is heavy, comparable to my dog. Where'd she go? There she is. There's the little doggy. Hey, little doggy. Okay. Maybe she'll get this video, but maybe she'll get the channel some views if I show her cuteness every now and then. I mean, she's smaller than the cats. She's the smallest dog. I have known smaller dogs that were dogs, not puppies, but I have known smaller, mature dogs. But she's the smallest living dog that I know right now. Smaller than the cats. Smaller than, like, maybe even 4-month kitten. But most 6-month kittens are bigger than her. So, everybody's in water or gets water that shares water. There's the cactus down there that I'm trying to grow in soil. Not doing well at all. This is that same cactus, and it's growing in the filter. You think I'm going to put that back in dirt? Nope. At least not until that stops doing well. This one, which is in quarantine, so it's going to have to wait for its water until I am done with the phone. It got knocked over yesterday. And it fell down, in between the tank and the table. Doesn't appear to have hurt itself or gotten, damage from the fall. but the blooms are not happy. They kind of started wilting a bit after the fall. Kind of is what it is. The newest bloom is bouncing around, so I'm holding it. It looks good. It opened after the great fall. Come on, sit there. So, I don't know. And the last thing before I log off, that looks like it's going to do just fine for the growing lucky bamboo in dirt. Still gets the aquarium water, but it's growing in dirt. Like this one over here, but like I said, this one is eventually going to be, and I'm going to take all those dead leaves out, and I'm going to pretty it up before it goes to its new owner. But it's going to go to its new owner. And if the new owner wants to see how it's cared for, she will be more than welcome to watch any of the videos, really. But she can pay attention to that one. She can pay attention to whatever she wants. But for her purposes, or anybody that is growing lucky bamboo in dirt, they will want to watch that guy. Now, if you don't have an aquarium and you're growing your lucky bamboo in dirt with whatever other kind of fertilizer, okay, great. But you won't quite be growing the same way I'm growing that, will you? So, yeah. So, you can either use whatever fertilizer, or technically, you could go buy yourself an aquarium if you want to take care of your plant. I don't recommend that. If you want to set up an aquarium to enjoy fish, okay. If you want to set up an aquarium to kind of cycle water for your plants, well, you can do that too. But I don't recommend setting up a full aquarium, I'll call it, with fish just to have nutritious water for your plants. I mean, you could. You could if you want to, dedicate yourself that much to the plants, to having other pets, basically. I recommend these methods I use for the person that keeps plants and fish anyway, and wants to follow a channel that just, kind of shoves the two hobbies into one. If you're keeping plants anyway, and you have fish anyway, well, then maybe these methods will work for you. You can just shove the two hobbies into one and have one larger, more involved hobby, I guess. So, yeah, that's what I have for today. The lucky bamboo shoots are growing, but they're growing kind of slowly, so yeah, definitely not going to cut those back again yet, anytime soon. But the video has now gone to 30 minutes. I really need to get these chemicals out of my test tube. If it stains, no worries. I have a lot of test tubes. Actually, I got more test tubes than that, but those are the ones that I'm using. Okay, I'm going to go clean up the test tube. I will talk to you all next time.